Have you heard of schizophrenia? It's a serious mental illness. It distorts how a person thinks, feels, and perceives reality. You see things that aren't there. You believe things that never happened. Basically, you behave like Pakistan. Its leaders sound like serious cases of schizophrenia. Because right now, they seem to be living in delusion. What do we hear from Islamabad? Rage. They have once again slipped into their favorite role, the role of the aggrieved neighbor. Yesterday, India announced the first retaliatory measures against Pakistan, and today, Islamabad is responding. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif convened the National Security Council. They met for a few hours, and they have come up with a list of moves. This is what they've decided. Closing the Wagah border, suspending all visas under SARC, expelling Indian diplomats, declaring Indian military advisors persona non grata, reducing High Commission staff in India, closing the airspace to India, and halting all trade. If it sounds very similar, it is because it is. This reads like a tit-for-tat checklist. It is meticulously drafted to match India's tone and to overwhelm it. But there's one point that stands out, and I will quote from the Pakistani statement. Pakistan shall exercise the right to hold all bilateral agreements with India, including but not limited to Simla Agreement, in abeyance. Basically, what it means is this: Pakistan has suspended all bilateral deals with India, including the Simla Agreement. It is perhaps the most controversial move of all. The Simla Agreement was signed in 1972. This was after the 1971 war, which Pakistan lost. Its core principle was simple. India and Pakistan would resolve their disputes peacefully and bilaterally, without the involvement of third parties. This is what the agreement said. It led to the definition of the LOC, the line of control, the de facto border between the two countries. So what does the suspension mean? In real terms, it doesn't mean very much. The agreement was already fraying. Pakistan has rarely honored it, neither in spirit nor in practice. But symbolically, it is a rupture, a signal that Pakistan is no longer interested in even pretending to seek peace. So yes, the decision carries symbolism, but it also reeks of hypocrisy. Look at a statement from a Pakistani senator. He called the Pahalgam attack a false flag operation. He said it was orchestrated by the Indian army. So according to him, India killed its own people. That's the story they're selling. I'm not sure what's worse, the delusion or the sheer audacity. Here's another gem. Pakistan's defense minister says he has some classified information. It is this man, Khwaja Mohammad Asif. He says India is planning acts of terrorism in various cities around the country. I will say that again. India is planning acts of terrorism in Pakistani cities. This is a country that has harbored and sponsored terrorists for decades. Pakistan is a state sponsor of terrorism. It is now accusing the world's largest democracy of plotting terror attacks. The irony writes itself. The global press is describing Pakistan's actions as reciprocal. India expelled Attari, so did Pakistan. India is reviewing water rights. Pakistan calls it an act of war. But reciprocity implies equal stakes. That both sides are reacting from the same ethical platform. The fact is they are not. India is responding to a deadly terror attack on its people, on its soil. Pakistan is responding to being called out, to being exposed. That difference is significant and it matters. So the question now is not whether India will respond again. The real question is whether the world will continue indulging Pakistan's schizophrenia. A state that speaks the language of peace while renting out its backyard to those who wage war. No wonder the world is weary of its narrative. And to be honest, the script has become too predictable. Terror strikes, condemnations are tweeted, India blames, Pakistan denies, Islamabad retaliates not against the perpetrators, but against India. And then there's a lull until the next attack. Maybe it's time we stopped calling this a cycle, because that word implies inevitability. What's happening here is not inevitable. It is engineered by Pakistan. It is time to hold them accountable.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.